Hey everybody, I'm Steve Bush with Coldwell banker Tony Hubbard Realty, and I want to talk to you about an amazing 55 plus residential community in Clermont, Florida called Kings Ridge. Kings Ridge is not only a pristine, quiet, safe community, but it has tons of amenities for the people that call this community their home. And today I want to talk with you about one of the most popular amenities that they have, or one of the offerings they have here at Kings Ridge, and that's the Kings Ridge Men's Club. I'm glad to have with me today my friend Forrest Coleman, who is currently the president of the Kings Ridge Men's Club. So Forrest, thank you for joining me for a little bit here this afternoon. I appreciate that.
Steve, it's my pleasure.
I appreciate you. So, well, let's get started. Well, I think one of the things I'd like to start with is a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about Forrest Coleman. Okay.
Well, I've been around for about a little over 8 decades right now, and I'm a Youper by birth, and did my career in northern Wisconsin for 35 years in education. I was basically a coach, referee, athletic director, and that type of thing. And when I retired, we first moved down to Ocala, Florida, and then from there we moved over here to Kings Ridge. We moved in about 2003 in 2004.
Oh, my goodness, 20 years, huh?
20 years we've been here. That's great.
So that's really a good lead into a second question. That is, what brought you to Kings Ridge? I mean, what was it about this community that you guys found interesting?
Well, we dearly loved Ocala. There's no knocks on Ocala at all. But one of the things I found, it was not a quote-unquote senior community. If you want to move into a community such as Kings Ridge, which has 2,100+ homes in it, you want to be involved in some activities.
Yes.
And when you're in a non-senior community, there just are not activities.
Yeah. And
still being young enough, I thought, that I want to be involved in some activities, we started looking at some communities, and Kings Ridge basically fit our need. It was large enough, it was close enough to the airport and amenities in Orlando, and just the outlay, close to the shopping center over here, and just a number of things. And when you drive in off in 27, it wasn't quite like this 20 years ago. I mean, the curb appeal, just boom, it blasts right out at you.
It's still a very pristine community. My wife and I were talking about it on the drive-in today, just how nice it looks pulling into Kings Ridge. So, well, that's kind of a great segue into the next question I had, and that is this. I mean, there are a lot of activities. There's a lot of activities, and one of the more popular seems to be this Kings Ridge Men's Club. So tell us about the Kings Ridge Men's Club. How does it work?
Well, it was formulated about 20 years ago. A gentleman from New Jersey had been to an activity at a community up there, and at that time, the women's club in Kings Ridge was very, very active and doing a lot of things. And he said, hey, there's no men's club. Let's do a men's club. Well, the caveat to it was he was going to do it for 6 months and then step aside. So after 6 months, he stepped aside, and there were, maybe 10, 15, 20 guys would get together once a month. And there was a vacuum there. We said, well, who's going to head it up? And one of my good friends says, Forrest, why don't you be president? I nominate Forrest. And so I get nominated president. That was in 2005.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. And so from there, I saw the opportunity to do a lot of the things that I like doing, organizing activities and that, and battling with the administration and
navigating everything.
Navigating, that excellent way of putting it. And so we grew from just a handful of guys that we have about 284 fellows on our
284. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic! What a great story. And that's so. How does it work if I wanted to be a member of the Kings Ridge Men's Club? How would I go about doing it?
We try and keep things as simple as possible. What I do is we get the email address of the individual interested, and then they get on the mailing list. So as an example, for our next meeting, there will be a blast that will go out, and we have a link that's on that blast telling us what the activity involves, and you fill in, yes, I'm going to attend, no, I'm not going to attend. And we do have some ancillary, we call them cafeteria activities. We had a number of them we've kind of whittled down to basically having some bocce in the morning. We have about a dozen to 20 guys take part in that, and we have a poker group that comes on earlier in the afternoon, and then they go from there. And then I ask who will help collect tickets, who will do this and that, and they say, yes, I can do that, boom, boom, boom. That all goes into a database.
Nice.
And so when the night of the event comes in, they come in. We have a nominal fee that we charge to cover everything. We have a beer and a wine license for the event. And we try and have some type of program that's after our meal, and everything's all encompassing. Try and keep it somewhat upbeat. I say there's a lot of camaraderie that takes place. We have cheap wine, cold beer, and comfort food.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What guy wouldn't want to do that, huh?
That's absolutely right. And the guys come in, and we don't have a lot of things that they have to do. They just come in and they socialize for that period of time.
That is awesome. So Forrest, in kind of way of bringing this all around here a little bit, is what would you say, in your experience, are the 2, 3, or 4 major things I would get? What benefits would I get as a member of that? Well, how would you summarize 2 or 3 of them?
First of all, Kings Ridge has 15 neighborhoods, which is really unique, and I think is an excellent concept. And we have individuals from every one of the neighborhoods. So we don't have clusters, so that you're meeting individuals from other parts of the neighborhood. Some may be interested in golf, some may be interested in cars, and so on and so forth. That plus we do some things for the community, Kings Ridge and Clermont. Things such as in October we'll have what we call our hoodie month, in which guys bring in sweatshirts. There's about 160 families in the Clermont area that are classified as homeless. And you're well aware of that from your past experience.
Yes.
And we supply hoodies for them in the fall. Then in November, we do our push for the police department. The Stuff the Cruiser facilitates every one of the squad cars in Clermont have some type of toy for an individual. Plus what's left over, those go on to toys at Christmas time. We were instrumental in getting the Halloween candy program going. And so we put a little push in October to collect candy, and that enables the police department then for Halloween to have basically an event down the waterfront in which all the kids can come there and get candy at each one of the locations. We're instrumental within our community. If you notice right outside this room here, there's a large veterans plaque. We put that together and did all the things to get it put together. When we first started, there was no Veterans Day program going on. So the men's club was the group that first started and formulated that. So there's just a lot of little community things that we do. But once again, it goes back to, if you come to a regular meeting, we're not going to be harping on that. I will just mention it shortly, and boom, we'll just move on with the social part.
Great. So it's a great way to meet other neighbors.
Excellent.
It's a place where, if you want to, you can serve. You can support the community through these various different programs. And you get beer.
And wine.
And wine.
Cheap wine.
And food.
Comfort food.
So is there a huge cost associated with this program?
No. We do a membership, which is $10 for the year. That helps with the bookwork to find out who's still with us and who's dropping by the wayside. And to cover the cost for an event, it's about $20 a person. And I do have to mention, we have a group of ladies that come out and really help us. And they're a godsend, because when we leave, the kitchen area is all cleaned up, and plus they do all the serving. And the fellows really don't have to get out of their chair to have their beer and wine and snacks and desserts and et cetera brought to the tables. Plus, just some more interaction and some more fun.
Beer, wine, good food. I don't have to do the dishes.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I'm in on that. Wow. Well, I thank you. I want to thank you, Forrest, for taking the time to share with us today about the Kings Ridge Men's Club. And I want to say this. Everything that Forrest has said about the Kings Ridge Men's Club is 100% legit. How can I say that? Well, first of all, my lovely wife, Jearri, and I have been residents of the Kings Ridge community for 6 years now. And we fell in love with this just for all the same reasons that Forrest just talked about. But more than that, I am a member of the Kings Ridge Men's Club, and I'm proud of it, and I love that. So I thank you for your time today. Listen, if you want more information about Kings Ridge, this beautiful 55-plus senior active community in Central Florida, at Clermont, Florida, or if you want more information about the Kings Ridge Men's Club, please contact me at the information at the bottom of this slide. So we thank you. We ask you to have a blessed day. Thank you. Thank you, Forrest.
Super.